Give it to us.
Give us the cock.
Okay.
Give it to us nice and good.
Good morning and or afternoon and or evening, anyone who happens to be listening to DADISS. This is not Tyranny of Dragons, although Zack is here, but he is not DMing.
Hi.
It is I, Raven, who is not a dungeon master because this is the first time I've done this. I will be the dungeon weaver of Crusade on Candy Kingdom, otherwise known as Cock. We are treading dangerously close to this series being called Daddy's Cock. I, both to get in my own element, to calm my nerves, and also to experiment with DADISS content, we're going to treat this one a little bit more like content. Not everyone is here. So today I have with me once again Zack, Holly, and Danielle.
Hello.
Hello.
That's all I really need to say before we begin. So let's begin. Okay, so just a quick little bit of info for everybody because this is a completely homebrew world, and I will give you all a quick briefing on everything again because I don't know the last time you read about the setting of your adventure. You all are residing in the Candy Kingdom. It is a kingdom only in name. Approximately 500 years ago, there was the Great Sour War, which then drove the continent into factions. The factions live in relative harmony. You know, there's some skirmishes now and then, but everything is mostly fine. Zack, as you know, your character comes from the Great Cocoa Empire. A very good way to view this empire, as non-immersive as this might be, is kind of like Fantasyland. Like, typical kind of D&D place.
Okay.
Holly, your character, and I'm not giving characters by name because I will allow you guys to introduce them when the time is right. Holly, your character comes from the great... Was it Gummy Coastlands?
The Gummy Coastlands.
There's no great. The Gummy Coastlands. They're pretty great, though.
They're pretty great.
That's where your character comes from. Your character comes from what is essentially like farmland Australia.
Love it. I'm here for it.
Finally, Danielle, your character comes from the Garden of Rock. I'm only getting stumbling because I've like abbreviated all these names in my head, and I'm trying not to abbreviate them right now. Right. You're from the Garden of Rock. Your island in the ocean, your people, let's say 450 years ago, roughly, there's no exact time span for the rest of the world, broke their section of the continent off of what is now, I need to just open the map. How about that?
Nah, don't do that.
Nah. Your chunk of land was previously connected to the Confectionery Court, which is the biggest land in the place, in this continent. But you broke off a chunk of land and let it float out to sea, and that is now an island. And your people have been pretty secluded for like hundreds of years now. The Confectionery Court, again, pretty much like America, the American dream. Everybody and everybody is welcome. It is the biggest colony on the continent.
It's the closest thing to like a melting pot.
Yes. And the final colony, which none of you are from, is the Donut Plains, which is like Wild West, essentially. Whoever has the fattest cock is in charge, that kind of thing.
Until I show up.
So, as you all recall, the hook for this campaign, which I actually quickly will read out. I'm having to set up a lot of things.
Well,
okay.
take your time.
A crusade on Candy Kingdom begins with a widespread message from the Dairy Queen. Recently, the heat, a plague that has recently started spreading across the continent, but because, as Danielle pointed out, the Confectionery Court is a bit of a melting pot, it's like most prominent there, has taken a hold on nearly all of the city on Nonparelis, and even outside of that city, the plague remains present within the rest of the colonies, much like, or the rest of that colony, much like the other territories. With perhaps the beginnings of a method to end this plague, Abigail Pastry, the Dairy Queen, sends out a distressing message that begs anyone and everyone willing to help the entirety of the continent to come meet her at her castle as soon as possible. While she does not specify any specific kind of reward, she promises to repay you in absolutely any way she can, and being the queen of the biggest colony in the Candy Kingdom, you know she will keep said promise. I'm going to quickly roll a dice for reasons on my end. Okay. So, we set the scene. We're in Nonparelis. It is, everybody here has played Ocarina of Time. It's essentially like Hyrule Castle Town. Today in particular, it's bright sunny day, very, very lively. Everybody's actually in a surprisingly good mood, surprisingly cheerful for a town wrought with the plague. There's a couple of booths set up, and there's a lot of adventurers in town because a lot of people have responded to this call, because why wouldn't you? You can get virtually anything you want by helping. There is a number of booths each set up where people seem to be signing in as though to be like, I'm an adventurer, I'm officially here to help, putting their name down. What are you doing over there? Putting their name down as if to sign in. This is almost like an odd like adventurers convention. Okay. As weird as those two words sound to say one after the other. Most of this is like a big conglomerate in what is essentially the town square. There's a big stage propped up by candy canes with like a big thing of graham cracker on top to make the stage top. There's a curtain, it's currently drawn closed, with a microphone as if there's going to be a speech at some point. Some people are just hanging around there. Some people are doing an odd bit of shopping. Others are just talking amongst themselves. The majority of the people there are Choclatins, the chocolate people, Gummy-Folk, the gummy people. There's a few pastry people, a few, like how I previously mentioned in Adventure Time. There's just a marshmallow with arms and legs hanging out. He's got a sword strapped to him. There are no rock golems there. There's not a single one. And our camera pans down to a young pink gummy woman arriving on the scene.
Wow.
If you would like to describe your character, you may.
My character is just a strawberry puff gummy person with, I think it is a black top, white shorts, little pigtails with ribbons in her, gummy hair. Do you want me to go further than that?
However far you want to go. You haven't said her name.
Her name is Trolli Gumption.
Trolli Gumption. So you walk into town and you see all of this commotion going on. Is there anything you do?
Let me take in my surroundings. What's going on?
Okay. So like I said, there's very clearly like a stage where a speech is going to be given at some point, but right now nothing's on it. At the bottom of the stage, there is like the fucking, what are they, like the Star Wars band. They're just playing some the cantina. Yeah, they're just playing some fucking music. Some people are dancing. It's kind of, again, it's like a party like convention going on.
Right.
Everybody's in really good spirits. And as you take a look around your surroundings, a Reese's cup walks up to you. Well, howdy, ma'am. You have to get used to doing voices. Well, howdy, ma'am. Would you happen to be here to answer the great Dairy Queen's call, maybe, perhaps?
Oh, why, yes, I am.
Oh, well, that is great news. Have you signed in yet?
No, I haven't. Wait, show me where.
Oh, well, I can actually... He reaches behind him, and it doesn't really make sense because he's a literal fucking Reese's cup. You don't know where he's pulling this stuff out. But he pulls out, like, a pen and a clipboard, and he's like, if you could just sign your name here for me, just anywhere on this page, on this list. There's, like, I don't know, 7 to 11 names on there already.
Can I, like look through the pages?
If you want.
I mean, I just want to know what I'm signing here.
Right. Well, this is just essentially so we can keep track of like who's here to help with the Dairy Queen, and who's kind of just here to celebrate and have a good time. That perhaps we're finally going to start doing something about the heat. So this is for adventurers only.
Oh, well, you know what? That makes perfect sense. Here, let me just go ahead and sign my name.
Okay, thank you so much. And he.
Well, thank you.
He kind of like falters for a bit. And he reaches around again, and he takes out what is essentially like a thick fucking fruit roll-up, and he pulls some of it off and rips it, and then like puts it on your wrist, and it's fucking sticky, so it just sticks to the other end.
Okay.
And it's like a nice like teal blue.
Right.
He's like, this is just so we can like at a glance tell if you're an adventurer or not. Don't worry about that.
All right.
It's like when you go to a theme park and they give you the wrist.
Pretty much.
Just slap bracelet.
Yeah.
It's like when I go to the hospital.
You just walked into Six Flags. Is
Cool.
essentially what's happening here, but there's no rides.
Oh, well, thank you so much, sweetheart.
Oh, you're welcome, ma'am. He blushes a little bit when you call it sweetheart because you live in a world of sweets.
Yeah.
So, and he actually takes out another clipboard, and he's like, do you think do you think you could maybe help me? There's a lot of people here, and you seem really nice.
Help you with what, Sugar Plum?
Just ask around anybody without a wristband if they're here to, help.
Oh, I would be more than happy to help you with that.
Okay.
Hand that over.
And she does. It's a she. So Holly, roll me a perception.
That is a 17.
Okay, wow. So with a 17, you are surprised you didn't immediately notice. But off in kind of a secluded corner, because there's multiple entrances into this, town square.
Yeah.
And kind of in a corner by one of the entrances is, somebody who just arrived, but, clearly as soon as they walked in, fucking, 5 little marshmallow dudes and another gummy person immediately were on them and asking them a bunch of questions and blah blah blah. And you think to yourself, it's kind of weird that a rock golem is here. Maybe I should go see if they are here to sign up.
That sounds like a great idea.
Danielle, would you like to introduce your character?
Yes, my character's name is Igneas, like Igneas rock.
Mm-hmm.
Rock candy golem person, about 7.5 foot tall, just a big old boy, but actually very, very young.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of has a childlike view of the world because they haven't been around all that long, even though rock candy people are they form just as they are.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm very clearly don't know where I am. Everything looks very new to me. It's pretty obvious that.
Mm-hmm. And you've got 6 people who have never met a rock golem before asking you questions.
Yes. Questions like what?
How heavy are you? What do you taste like? Because everybody tastes like something. How old are you? Is it true that you can't die of old age? Just a bunch of really general questions that for you it's yeah, no shit, this is the answer. But they've never met one before.
Right, okay.
Just that kind of stuff.
Should I answer those all?
That's entirely up to you if you want to talk to these people or if you want to get them the fuck out of your way.
No, I'm okay with answering. Can you do those one at a time again?
Okay. Well, I'll be. How heavy are you, you big boy?
I've never actually been weighed.
Okay, well, how old are you then?
4.
Really? That's actually really young.
Yep.
But is it true? How old, can you get? Because I've heard some people say that you can't die of old age, but that's crazy, right?
No, from what I know, that's true. I think the oldest of us said they were 500, and that's only about as long as we've been around, so.
Back now above, that's pretty crazy. I taste like marshmallow. What do you taste like?
Sugar.
Wow!
Crystallized
That's what marshmallow tastes like, too! We're the same, kind of.
In a way.
In a way. And I suppose, you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing. But yeah, you...
I would love to saunter on up to this little crowd.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. All right. Get out of the way. Give them some space. Hello, Sugar Skull. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
What are you here for? You here to join the party or you here to join the queen?
The queen.
All righty. Here, sign this for me.
What do you mean?
Sign? All right, so here's the deal. I just got hired. I don't really know what's happening. So, this is a list of people who are supposed to be for helping the queen. There's also a bunch of people here just for the party. The list is simply to separate us.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Alrighty, so if you would like to stay for the party, you can. Otherwise, you can come help us.
I'm just going to write on the thing in really big capital letters, Igneas.
Alright,
I literally can't write small.
Let me just see your wrist real quick. Just strap that fucking thing on.
That has to be a pretty big one.
And now they're all going to be the same, super light blue, because that's just the color you were handed. Okay. I'm in my process of elimination. Finally, out of a separate entrance, walks in, not a rare sight for what's happening today. What kind of are you again? Milk dog?
Milk chocolate.
A milk chocolate Choclatin.
My character, he looks like a milk chocolate Choclatin. He's wearing kind of like a olive green, like drab, like flak coat kind of thing, like you'd think of when you think of like the typical like kind of anime military guy, and a beret that's the same like dark green. On the back of his jacket is like a yellow circle, and then in it is like the kind of like typical like candy logo font that just says sweet. He is missing his right arm just below his elbow, and on his side is what looks to be a rather large greatsword with no handle seemingly attached to it.
So, as you walk in...
and his name is Kit.
As you walk in, you kind of survey what's going on, and once again, it's just a fucking jamboree. Everybody's having a great time. But at this point, there's like a couple, like... You've... Because your character has a history of like finding shit, so you understand. Most likely, there's some kind of system in place that you need to make it clear that you're here. And you can see that there are booths with lines of people and big clipboards and blah, 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 blah. All of them are kind of full at this point, except for a pink Gummy-Folk who, forever how you feel about it, is in the middle of signing up a rocket. And she's the only person in this crowd that has a clipboard.
He's just gonna kind of grimace and walk over. He's going to walk straight up to you and just be like, "Are you where I sign up?"
Well, hi there. How are you today?
I'd be better if I could sign up.
You're signing up to help the queen, then?
Yes.
Oh, right, then sign right here.
He will sign his name
And then
hand it
let me
back
see
to you.
your hand, sweetheart.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Left.
strap the thing around your wrist. And now you're all signed up. Go have some fun.
No. And he leaves.
Okay,
Well, that was certainly odd, wasn't it?
Awful sour for a Choclatin.
That's what I would say. Oh, my goodness.
He didn't even look at you.
Is there any part of festivities you guys were interested in? It's pretty much just, do you want to dance? Do you want to, like, talk to people? Because here's the thing, you all have, like, some knowledge of the heat. You know that, like, things aren't great in your hometown. You don't know if it's the heat, but, like, things are getting kind of bad.
Right.
You, being from the second biggest colony, like, you know it's not as bad for you, but you know what it is.
Right.
And then you know, once again, very little about it, but your people are typically like, we just watch. Whatever happens. Most likely it's not going to make its way here anyway because we're on an island. So you're free to, there's obviously plenty of gossip going around about that because the people that live here are like on the fucking heat. Not literally on the heat. Bad expression for what's happening here. Like they are experienced with it. They're kind of seeing it every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Alternatively, there's like a few merchants selling knickknacks here and there.
Oh yeah, do we
I'm
have
actually
money?
thinking you all start with 50 gold. I probably should have said it.
Oh, wow.
You all start with 50 gold. So there's a few merchants selling little knickknacks here and there. Nothing that at a glance seems like it's going to be super really useful, but like some of them have more than others. So it's pretty much if any of you want to gossip or dance or shop.
Probably going to like people watch and listen to conversations that I can pick up on, but otherwise not be like too actively going up to interact with anybody.
Roll me a D12.
11.
Okay. So while you guys decide you do, as you're like people watching and like listening, are you like wandering around or just sitting in a corner?
Probably sit mostly in one spot.
Okay, so like people
I'm
are
pretty big and it's crowded.
right. People are coming and going. And you don't at first hear much, because obviously, like, people are there to have a good time. A lot of people are trying to ignore, like, the worries of the world right now. But after a little while, a small group of, like, Skittles are just hanging out. And, you know, they have drinks and, like, a little snack, but, like, they don't really notice you're there, because as weird as it is, you being this big rock is something that they can kind of just, like, that's a rock. They haven't met a rock golem before. So, like, if you're sitting perfectly still, they just assume you're part of the landscape. They kind of just hang around near you, and whew, you know, this is a real nice distraction, but man, am I not looking forward to tomorrow morning. Like, another, you know, they're just idly chattering and like, yeah, no, my cousin, the heat finally got him yesterday. Like, it's a little worrisome that the queen is running this big social event. Like, you know, I mean, technically, like, couldn't a lot of people be catching it here? And then another one of them is like, well, we haven't figured out how it passes. Who fucking knows? Like, just, like, you're gaining, like, yeah, this is fun, but, like, even the people here, like, as soon as they have a minute to come off of this, no pun intended, sugar high, like, as soon as this is over, I gotta go back to dealing with that, like...
Well, I've also gained a little bit of information that I didn't have.
Yeah. Did either of you want to do anything?
I would probably also try to gather information, but not necessarily on the heat. I would probably try to gather information on what other, like... What other adventurers are here, and if any of them seem competent or useful.
Okay. So, hold on. Let me think. Roll me a d4.
3.
Okay. So you listen in, and like, because pretty much you have the understanding of like people with wristbands equals people who are adventurers, right? And you kind of like walk around. Are you like openly like, who the fuck are you? Are you like kind of just listening in?
No, he'll just kind of like sit nearby and just listen in.
A lot of them are talking about like previous adventures they've been on. The world's been relatively peaceful for hundreds of years now, so a lot of them are more like tomb raiding and shit like that, with a few skirmishes here and there. Over the past couple of years, let's say 10, monsters have always been a thing, but they're becoming a little more common. And so some of them are like, yeah, I fought this thing here and there, blah, 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 blah. However, you, Kit, who's been through a lot, none of them sound anywhere near as good as you.
Cool.
Whether or not that's your own perception of them, or you...
Probably a little of both.
Probably a little of both. You'd have a little clearer of a head if you had rolled me a 4. Holly, is there anything you would like to do?
I'd like to sign up as many people as I can to the cause.
So you just go around and sign people up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after a little while, pretty much as soon as you start to like run out of people that are saying yes, there suddenly starts being this big like, you know, like, and like a bunch of clapping, like, and a light shines on the stage. And the curtains part.
That's gonna pretty clearly draw my attention like towards the stage, so a piece of the landscape around some of these people just...
Yeah, there are some people that are like, what the fuck? Like, oh wait, that was a guy. That's a guy, right?
That's a last dude.
Are you a guy, or...
I can be, or I can't be.
Right. That's a guy. Are you a guy?
Sometimes. If I feel like it, I guess.
And a little Snickers bar with legs walks onto the stage. He's got a little megaphone.
It's making me snicker.
And he's like, attention, everyone. Hopefully everybody who wanted to sign up is here by now, because we are done taking applications. And he kind of shoots you a glance like, we're done. In here but a moment, the Dairy Queen shall grace you with her presence. And you hear like a from behind the stage, or from behind the curtain that closed behind him. And he's like, apologies. The Dairy Queen will see you and will not grace you, but you should feel graced. But anyway,
Well, that's a little odd.
some ground rules, everyone. Do not come within 10 feet of the stage while she's out here. Do not ask her any questions unless she asks you to ask her questions. What else was there? And as he's like sitting there thinking, the Dairy Queen walks out. And she's like, she kind of pats him on the head. And she's like, that's enough. Like, relax. You can go on your way now. And he turns to her with the megaphone, and he's like, yes, ma'am! And then he leaves. And she kind of like, so, very quickly, the three of you roll me a history check.
16.
Also 16.
Okay. That makes narrative sense. Danielle, this is the first time you have any indication of what she looks like.
Yep.
And you vaguely know, oh, it's not abnormal that I don't know what she looks like. But I feel like people should, but there are very clearly some people in the crowd that also like, so that's what she looks like. You two are fully well aware, like, very rare the Dairy Queen's making, like, in-person appearances. She'll send out, like, because there's, like, this is dumb Candyland, there's, like, television, and she'll do, like, televised things. But it's very rare for the Queen to just be, like, out of, like, her castle. And she looks a little nervous to be there. This is still the first time, like, both of you kind of knew, like, this is generally what she looks like. But this is, like, okay, this is the first time I can solidify, because neither one of you live in the confectionery court, so you don't get the televised thing. So she kind of adjusts herself, fixes her dress a little bit, clears her throat, like, she's not used to this whatsoever. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all have been having a good time. And like as she says that, some of the crowd is like, yeah! And she like doesn't really like, I'll just wait for you to be done, I guess. Like, thank you to everyone who came here and signed up. So I guess, I understand for many of you, the past year has been hard since the heat really started to settle in. I see a lot of people here that I can only presume are from other colonies because I certainly don't recognize you, and I like to think I recognize most of the people that give me the privilege of leading them. And she does a scan of the crowd. Her eyes fall on you for a second because you're definitely like a...
Fuck?
But like,
Yeah.
she can understand you guys aren't from around here, but she's not focusing on you.
Whereas I'm extra not from around here.
Yeah. So, I did promise all of you to help you in any reward you so desired. Unfortunately, I do have to ask you to allow me to figure that out after we have figured out a cure. This is a very dangerous thing to be asking all of you to do, and I can't go out giving rewards before it's done. And there's a few grumblings amongst the crowd of like, I was here to get the reward and then quit, but whatever. And as she kind of stumbles a little bit, she's pretty much a white chocolatin. A shorter white chocolatin like rushes out and tugs at her sleeve, and he says, like, he whispers something to her, like, she's like, oh, right, my son here, Prince Raz, honey, I'm not sure this is the best time for really was hoping if perhaps some of you could, like, stick around and teach him how to fight with a sword. He does want to help you guys. I will allow some sparring, but I don't. No, honey, no. Anyway, she kind of like nudges him away. Moving on. Where was I? Like, she's not prepared whatsoever, is what I'm trying to convey here. So, the heat. For any of you who are not aware of the heat and its effects on the candy body, it is called the heat because we have noticed that after a short amount of time, if you don't die, if you don't die, you melt a little bit, or at the very least, you start to fall apart. I'm sorry to do this when you are all having such a good time. We don't know how it spreads, and we can only hope that if any of you start to develop symptoms, you seclude yourself. I suppose what will happen next is if you are not an adventurer, please feel free to clear out. The festivities are over. And for adventurers, if you could please organize by the colored wristbands that you were all given. One of my loyal aides will come to you and explain to you what we need done. So with that, and then as she like goes to kind of wrap it up, Prince Raz tugs at her sleeve again. She's like, "What?" And they kind of whisper back and forth for a little bit. And she goes, "No." Like they're like clearly just kind of talking amongst themselves for a few minutes, and like everything he's talking to her about is she's not like relaying it, giving you the impression that it's just dumb kid shit.
Right.
And after a few minutes, she's like, "Raz, listen, we can talk about this later. We have to go now." And without allowing him to continue, she leaves. And like right as she's getting to the curtain, you can see that a few like marshmallow knights like gather around, and they're very quickly heading in the direction of the castle, which we will talk about later.
How old does Prince Raz look?
So you know for roll me a perception. How about that?
That's a 15.
Okay. So you know for a fact she is. Let me pull up the exact age I wrote down. Because this is just a package. This is just common knowledge. She's 39, but like looking at her, she doesn't look a day over like 23. Like she looks fucking great.
She's royalty, of course.
Right. Did anyone else want to ask about the Dairy Queen before she's gone? You can't talk to her, but
No. How old is Prince Raz?
Oh, Prince Raz. I'm sorry. Prince Raz? He looks like 15.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know why I assumed you meant I don't know why I heard the Dairy Queen. He looks like 15.
Okay.
He's like, if she is like 5'6", he's like 5'1". Have you played, oddly specific, have you played Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga?
No, but I've seen it.
If I say the name Prince Peasley, do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, give me 1 sec, and I can show you pretty.
I'll look it up. You continue.
He looks like Prince Peasley, but like with white chocolate skin instead of green skin. That's the gist of it. He doesn't look exactly like that, but that's the gist of it.
I'm glad
Okay.
because that's like exactly what I was picturing.
That's
with
what
the
he
hair.
that's what he looks like. But like his skin is made of white chocolate.
Right.
So they leave in a bit of a rush because like you can understand that it's very rare that she makes public appearances, meaning you can understand that she is not out in public most of the time, and now that she is, let's get her back out of public, especially with this fucking plague going on.
That and, any would-be assassins would take this as
Exactly,
the perfect
yeah.
opportunity.
And after a minute of like a little bit of like frustration, Prince Raz goes right along with them. And the three of you, I'm assuming you weren't really standing together, you can see like
The different colored groups.
yeah, they're like they're gonna be little Hershey Kisses, and like the little like flag that comes off a Hershey Kiss, those are color coded. And so the goal is to go to your respective color.
Okay, I'm gonna start heading that way.
I'm assuming you
Yeah, I will
choose-
also head towards our color.
I'm like trying really hard not to get in anyone's way,
You're failing.
but yeah.
You're fucking failing. At one point, you step on a marshmallow, but as soon as you step off, they just kind of buoyancy, like, come right back up. And they're like, wow! And they just
I'm
keep
gonna
going.
profusely apologize.
They just leave. They're fucking used to it. Like, they leave.
Oh,
They're like, I've never stretched that wide before! And it's like, obvious innuendo, and then they leave.
whereas I look like I just accidentally kicked a puppy.
Yeah. So you all gather at the Hershey Kiss.
I think you mean a Wonka.
And, or yeah, a Wonka. Dogs are called Wonkas, listeners.
And the cats are called what again?
Nestles.
Right.
And so the Hershey Kiss, as soon as you get there, Trolli, it's just kind of like, now a bum. I was looking for that, and he like tries to get the like clipboard from you, and he takes it, and he's like, okay. The three of you are the first light blues to make it there.
As soon as I get there, I'm just gonna go. Ugh.
He's gonna ignore it. You know.
No, I'm just not gonna pay it mind.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did I see this?
Yeah, unless you were hiding it.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think you were.
Another day then. Just continue on.
Okay, well, he kind of looks around. I'm not seeing any of the other light blues, and we kind of got to get a move on here. So let me get started here. At some point, we're going to go in an order. We are not first. We are going to go into the castle. It is an honor for all of you. The queen does not necessarily want this information being out in the public. She does not want to risk anyone overhearing besides you guys. So in the next like half an hour, we're all going to single file make our way into the Blizzard Keep. In the meantime, if all of you could kind of stay with me, that would be great. And then like as he's in the middle of talking, out of nowhere, seemingly on the fucking drop of a dime, like, all hell breaks loose. So, like, it starts as, like, one scream you can kind of hear, then there's another scream from another direction, and suddenly everybody's screaming and running around.
As soon as I hear screams, I just press my arm into the sword and click it into place.
And then, seemingly out of nowhere, this like little candy trash goblin pounces on the Hershey Kiss that was talking to you and just starts fucking eating him. Like none of you have an instant to fucking handle what just happened. Roll for initiative. I just realized I need the things.
Yeah, the initiative trackers.
I will go grab cards from upstairs.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, oh dear Lord.
I like how he managed to, you know, make everybody's first encounter happen in this of goblins. Goblin Slayer.
But it's a trash goblin.
I'm imagining him made out of, like, candy wrappers and
Yeah,
stuff.
like little wadded up bits of packaging. Stuck together maybe with some gum or something that's already been chewed.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Which also would probably be, like, a dead candy citizen's flesh. What you doing, Dobie?
Like how I only had the most boring possible answer to give to, what do you taste like?
Sugar.
There you go. I can't wait to go to listen to this audio later and like realize in the 30 seconds I was upstairs, you guys were like, this fucking sucks. I've never been having a less fun time.
Actually, we said the exact opposite.
Yeah!
We were like, I really like how we managed to incorporate, like, everybody's first encounter with goblins into this.
We were like kind of trying to imagine what the trash goblin looks like.
It looks like, imagine if you took like marshmallow and chocolate and gummy, like all these different kinds of candies, and put them under a fire for like 30 seconds, put that in a plastic bag, shook it up, threw a few like, I don't know, a peanut in there. Like it's just various types of candy melted together in the shape of a goblin.
We were kind of thinking it was like candy wrappers and stuff like that.
There's probably some of that mixed in there too.
Do you not want us to write in pencil so that...
I don't have any pencils.
We can always remake them.
Yeah.
What's passive perception again?
That's a great question.
10 plus your perception modifier.
Cool. I think that's it. It's just the 4, right? Seasoned God?
Hmm?
It's just the 4, right? HP, AC, passive perception, and movement speed?
Yes. And if you have any weird effects that would take place.
Place yourselves wherever you would have been.
Perfect.
This half-eaten M&M is the dead guy.
Fuck.
Which means...
Okay, so it's AC, HP, passive perception, initiative.
AC, HP, passive perception, movement speed, and you can put initiative on there if you'd like.
Wow, this M&M's all misshapen. I want to eat it. Okay.
You're just using this as an excuse for a cheat day.
No.
Oh, here, let me have my thing back so I can put my initiative on there.
Not that I think that last one.
We don't have to
matters.
write your initiative on there. Or, yeah, plus whatever. Okay.
I'm sorry, did you want my initiative too?
So, since...
In case there's any...
I should have grabbed another card.
For enemies.
For enemies. I forgot I have to play enemies now. Ugh. They're gonna be a receipt.
Oh, they're about to be on the receiving end. Would you like to try my big cat?
I kind of do want to try your big cat.
Massive, and it's amazing.
So since there's only 3 of
I
us,
made 2 Kit Kats.
I need to roll initiative for the enemies as well. Shit. Okay. What did you roll?
13.
16.
11.
Okay. So that's gonna be, I'm gonna do it the same way Zack does. Holly goes first. And then these poor guys.
What did they
yeah.
roll?
Enemies rar.
They rolled an 8. So, seemingly out of nowhere, and also to clarify, because I'm not going to make you roll a history check for this. These are not monsters that, like, exist within the world normally. These are, like, some of the weird shit that started showing up in the past few years. Because, like, a normal goblin would be, like, a Sour Patch Kid goblin. This is, like, some weird conglomerate. Like, some weird mutate thing. Okay, well, that is... How am I going to do this? Well, Trolli, that is you.
Sorry, I have to learn how to be the class that I am.
I understand.
So there's no enemy in the square, it's just the dead man.
That's the dead guy. You can move. I just wanted to show, like, that guy's there. You can move him if need be. Also, we are,
Trolli consumes the enemy.
As I briefly mentioned yesterday, I don't know if you heard, just for the sake of fun, since we are using candy, whatever enemy you killed, you get to eat.
Don't kill my piece just because it's candy.
It's too late.
I'm not going to kill your piece because it's candy. I'm just going to kill you because I don't like you.
Okay. Looks like we're killing them together. Okay, so then... I have to remember that I'm not a level 4 adventurer. Level 4.
I want to take a picture of our setup here because it's kind of cute.
I will use my action to cast Bark Skin on myself. And then use my bonus action to turn into a gummy bear.
Okay.
We'll go on and get a gummy bear out.
Bear is completely fine. I can't imagine any kind because you live in the you live in Hicktown, so I can't imagine many animals you haven't seen.
Mostly things are forest animals.
Most things will be safe. If something is not safe, I'll let you know when you get to do it.
Like a gummy
It would probably have
T-Rex.
to be something real specific, or
Yeah.
like some kind of ocean creature, maybe.
Yeah. Well, she lives on the coast, so even ocean
Oh, wait,
creatures
you're
she's pretty
right.
familiar with.
We have gummy sharks in there.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do as a shark here?
Sorry, that's just funny.
I will clarify this because why the hell not? Technically, you could be a shark here because gummy animals like don't need to breathe underwater, but you would not be able to swim. So you'd be like a magic harp when I'm fighting in tall grass. Like you just kind of flop there, but you wouldn't die.
Right. I have a question for you because I feel like you would know more. As a bear, they get 2 attacks, but as me, I get the 1 action. Do I just get an extra action because now I'm a bear?
It's not an extra action. It's called multi-attack.
So I still don't get 2 attack.
You do get 2 attacks. It's called multi-attack. Multi-attack takes 1 action.
But I've already used my action.
Oh,
She
wait.
used her action to turn into a bear.
No, I used my but bonus
Oh,
action
you
was
use
to
your
turn into a
action.
bear
Okay,
to
you use your action to
bark
bark skin. No, then you cannot attack.
Okay, then that is the end of my turn.
Okay,
God.
Kit, that is your turn. Being called God feels weird.
I'm going to attack the blue one with my greatsword.
Okay.
I need a piece of paper.
That's a miss.
What did you roll?
2 plus.
That's a
6.
miss. That's a miss. Sorry. Danielle.
Paper.
Well, wait, no, I'm stupid. The first thing I'm going to do is rage. So I gain advantage on strength checks and saves, deal +2 damage on strength-based melee attacks, and I have resistance to every type of damage except psychic.
Okay.
Bear totem.
Yes.
Replace her with a gummy bear.
You're all gummy bears now.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
Okay, cool. I'm hitting them with. By the way, I didn't describe my weapon. It's a maul, but like the blunt part is a jawbreaker.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 3 plus
Which one were you hitting?
5. The one that I'm next to. The one right in front of me.
The green
I'm
one.
gonna very, very quickly. I just realized I can easily color code these for myself.
Oh,
Well,
you're
there
right.
you go.
I'm a genius.
Oh my
3
god.
plus 5 is 8 plus 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. That's 14 damage.
Okay. Give me one quick sec. That'll be okay. God, playing the enemies is exciting. I get to do so many attacks now.
Yeah.
Let me get my dice ready real quick.
You feel useful this time.
Which dice do I want? I'm gonna use Spartan's dice.
Oh,
Oh
dear.
god.
Let's get it on! Yeah, one of these guys sounds like a frat boy. It's weird.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna do these. I need 4. My combat's not gonna be as quick as Zack's because I'm not quite as proficient at this.
It's okay, take your time.
Okay.
Take your time. Take your time.
Okay. The green is going to move here and attack Kit. They're not very intelligent, so he goes to swing and he just kind of like bounces off you. He has no real idea what he's doing. That's a miss. That was a miss. This blue one is also going to attack you because they see guy with a big fucking thing and they at least know that much. That does not hit. This one is going to aim for Igneas. A lot of math to do, holy shit. Does it... What, I don't need to ask, does it hit? I have your shit here. Doesn't hit. And then this one is going to come over here, also attack Igneas. And does not hit. So none
Either that or they do hit, but it just kind of
most of them like are hitting, but like
dink.
They're like kind of just slapping against you and like trying to bite at you, but like failing. And none of them have gone for Trolli yet. So, speaking of Trolli, that is Trolli's turn.
Oh, wow. There you go. Okay. I will move. I assume these are these 5 or 10 spaces? 5. Move up to here. Attack the blue M&M.
Okay.
That is 2 attacks against the blue M&M.
Mm-hmm.
One is a nat 20.
Okay.
And the other one is a 4.
Okay. So unfortunately, that 4 is not going to hit.
Well, yeah, but you know.
But you
Wait,
crit.
4?
Yeah, but I've actually rolled when I moved it.
Oh, okay. I was about to say it's a 14.
Technically, actually, the 4 is a 7, but that's fine. Okay, sorry. That's 12 damage.
Make
Your
sure.
crit?
Make sure what?
Make sure, by the way, in the future to specify which dice is for which attack, because the bite and the claw does different damage.
Right.
You said how much damage?
12.
12 damage on which one?
The blue one.
Oh yeah, because your claws are only a d6, so...
Okay. It's kind of like it fucking hurts really bad. Both of you have hurt them, but they're still up and moving.
Right.
Both of them look like they are on death's door. Kit, that is your turn.
Alright. I'm going to use one of my 3 fighting spirits for the day. I gain 5 temp HP, and I get advantage on my attacks this turn. That is a 14.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Well, I still get 5 temp HP.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and grant advantage to hitting me in exchange for that I get advantage to hit for 1 round.
It's a reckless attack.
Yes.
Do they all get advantage on hitting you?
Anybody
Anyone
who attacks her.
attacks me,
Okay.
they have advantage on hitting me, but I also just have advantage on hitting things.
Okay.
So that's a 5 plus 4. As opposed to a 6 plus 4.
Neither hit.
Neither of them hits.
Okay. It's their turn. So I'm gonna do these quickly one by one. So first goblin. Ooh, yeah. One of these. Okay, Kit, you are taking 9 damage. Trolli, you are taking 5 damage. And
So you have an
then-
extra d20. You'll be needing them a lot as a barbarian.
Thank you. I have other dice like ordered today. I was able to find candy dice.
Igneas, you take 6 damage.
Fuck.
Ooh, let's roll it again.
Is that already halved?
No, so 3. I forgot to have it for you. Let me do some math real quick.
They learned quickly.
I have a question. What is the 5 and the 7 before the parentheses?
Oh, fuck.
That is the average damage that you would do. Some
and
DMs
then-
do by average. So if you hit, you will always deal 7, but most DMs use the dice.
And then you will take another 9 damage,
Is
which
that
is
halved?
halved,
Ooh.
because one of them crit on you.
Damn.
Pulls back. You do taste like sugar.
Hold on a second. Every time they attack, by the way, they are very clearly like scratching and biting at you. It's just a matter of how well that's going. They're never missing, is my point.
Right.
But okay, that is Trolli's turn again.
Guess I'm going in with the multi-attack again.
Okay.
The bite and the claws.
Are they both going to aim for the same one?
Yes,
or-
you said he was on death's door though, right?
Which one, the blue one?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to bite the blue one. That is a 15 on the die.
That hits.
Soft 20 total. That's not it. That is 8 damage.
He's down. You can eat that blue M&M now.
Ironically, you bit him.
Oh. And then I'd like to use my claws against the red one.
Okay.
That is, I can do math, 12 to hit?
That does not hit.
Okay, that's fine.
Kit.
I rolled a 22 to hit.
That, which one are you? Well, I mean, it doesn't matter, but which one are you hitting?
The green one.
Okay.
The only one I can reach
yeah,
right
you're
now. And I did 17 damage.
He's done. You may eat that green M&M. Wow. Igneas.
I'm not reckless attacking again, since now I've been hit. Fucking 13? I don't think that hits.
That does not hit.
No.
You should always reckless attack as a barbarian. You have more than enough health to make up for it.
Do I get to change my mind?
No.
Not at this point, no, I'm
Unfortunately.
sorry. Okay, so these things are they're fucking getting frenzied. Like 2 of them are dead.
Wait, I did my math wrong. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
Okay, I'm
On
very
which
sorry
one?
about that. The red one.
The red one's dead.
Don't forget to add your extra damage too.
Unless you can roll a 0 for damage, the red one's dead. The red
No,
one.
my minimum while I'm raging is like an 8.
So anyway, these things are, like they're fucking frenzied. 3 more actually show up over here. They come darting in.
Fuck.
It's fine. We're fine.
Oh, that's the enemy's turn. Shit. Okay.
Oh my god.
This is a little hard to keep track of which enemy is which. I apologize.
Maybe you should swap out that other orange for a different color.
That would help a lot. We're so smart.
I like how instead of putting it back in the bag, you eat it.
He ate it.
I kill it. Red, orange, there's a blue. Color-coded enemies is actually really helpful.
Yes. There's a reason that I try not to use the same mini over and over.
All of my campaigns, enemies are M&Ms, even like the non-candy ones. Okay, I have a lot of attacks to roll. Let's start with that orange one. Okay, that orange one bites into you. It hits. You only take 4 damage from that, Igneas. Then, that one's aiming for you, Kit.
Do I get attack of opportunity?
Yes. You may take it now if you'd like.
13?
That does not hit.
Didn't think so.
That hits for 6 damage on you, Kit. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That one's going for Trolli. It saw you like try to sweep the legs of the other one, so it did a little bit of a wide turn though. Sorry about that. They're not completely
You
down.
can't do an attack of opportunity twice anyway.
Never mind.
Takes
Still,
your reaction.
They're not complete. They're not smart, but they're not like brain dead. They're not like zombies, even though they are trying to eat you. But that's gonna go for Trolli. Not enough to hit Trolli. And then this one's gonna come in here and once again go for Igneas. That definitely hits for 8 damage.
How?
To 4. Sorry, I keep forgetting to have yours.
Yeah.
Just tell her the normal damage. She'll have it
You know what? I'm
herself.
just gonna, I'm gonna have it myself.
Because she's not always going to be in rage.
Right. Okay, Trolli, it is your turn.
I did tell you what my new AC was, right?
No,
It's 16.
still wouldn't hit.
Okay. So, I guess I'm just gonna. They walked right to me, so you know. Multi attack. My bite hit is a 15. I assume that hits.
That hits.
My claws missed with an +1.
Okay.
And it is a total of, I can do math, 11 damage.
Okay.
There's nothing else I can do as a bear.
Okay. Kit, it is your turn.
I'm going to hit the brown one. I rolled a 16 to hit.
At this, their AC is 15.
Okay.
At this point,
I did another 17 damage.
to the brown one.
Yeah.
The brown one is dead. I feel like we're all here having a good game, and as soon as I was like, "Yeah, whatever you kill, you can eat," you went home and you were like, "I'm min-maxing the fuck out of this kid."
I thought about it.
No, that's not fun. Especially because I've never been a dungeon weaver before, so you would just swipe the floor with everything you do.
No, it's because you gave me a great sword as a starting weapon.
It's fun, and it makes sense for you.
Yeah.
Igneas.
I'm gonna attack that orange one right there.
Okay.
Reckless attack it.
Mm-hmm. You hit.
Yeah. And then,
Excuse me.
2 plus 6 is 8. Plus 5 is 13. 13 damage.
You said to the orange one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Man, using an iPad for this is really nice. Because I just get, like, the stat block on half the screen, a fake whiteboard on the other half.
Nice.
This is great. Speaking of great, it's my turn. Okay. The red one will go for... How are you looking, Kit?
Fine.
How are you looking, Trolli?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm
How are
great.
you?
I'm a bear.
You're all looking fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. Because that affects who they go for. But if everybody's looking fine, then they're just going to go for the big chocolate guy, because that's the most appealing to them. Let's going to roll that again. I see. Okay. Math.
Actually, I look bloodied.
Okay, good to know.
Got some cracks forming in your rocks.
And a little chunk fell out.
Huh.
Perishable rock.
Kit, you take 13 damage.
How much?
13.
Ow. Now
That's the second time I've crit.
I don't like that.
I don't like that I'm not getting these on Goliath.
Right?
Maybe I should start going back to the plastic dice, because that's what I've been using.
I am definitely bloodied now.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Do any of you have any form of healing?
I do.
Okay.
I've got some healing spells.
Okay. I
When I'm
realize
not
I meant to
there.
ask that at the beginning.
We don't have a dedicated healer.
I know you don't.
I don't got
So that was on you. The other two, because they saw you go reckless, are going to go for you. So the first one... does not hit. And the second one just hits for 5. That does not happen. Which I believe means
You round up.
3. Trolli.
Both of my attacks missed.
Cool. Kit.
I forgot to pre-roll. How are they looking?
2 of them look like they're on death's door. The blue one looks fucking best day of his life, hasn't been touched yet.
Cool.
But he's very clearly eaten.
Move me around so I can hit the blue one.
Did you want there or there?
That's fine.
Okay.
15 to hit, so that hits.
Yep.
With I can do math. 13 damage.
Okay.
I'm also going to use Second Wind as a bonus action. So I heal a D10 plus my con, right? No, plus level. Heals me for 9.
Cool.
I am no longer bloodied. I'm no longer leaking strawberry jam.
Nice. Igneas.
So I reckless attack, and just it's like a big fucking with the jawbreaker weapon because I almost maxed my damage.
Okay.
17 on blue one.
Blue one is dead.
Hey, I was fighting that one.
Why are you?
Well, it was eating me.
Kill the other one that's eating you.
I'm trying.
Is,
Better yet, let it eat you.
Why are you complaining about people helping you?
And handle it myself.
I can see that.
where is... Okay. Just don't mind me. But on my left, the rest of your right, we're more come from over here.
Jesus Christ.
Are you fucking serious?
I am.
Fucking
But-
Power Rangers coming
But
out.
they just had to dash in, so they don't get to attack this round. Green. I'm sorry, I rolled really high there. And then... okay. So, did you reckless?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The orange one is going for you. And the orange one does not hit. And then, how are you looking now?
I'm fine.
How are you looking now?
I'm great.
Okay. Are either of you bloodied?
No.
Okay. Okay, they're going for Kit. I don't know why I'm rolling 2d20s. They hit for 5 damage.
Now I'm bloodied.
And that they just dashed in, so they don't get to attack you guys. So it is Trolli's turn.
Alrighty, I would like to move right here, but attack the red M&M. My bite was an 18 to hit with 9 damage.
You're down.
Unfortunately, you cannot move and finish your attack.
Yep. Okay. Well, then that's it.
You fell
Sorry.
over.
That's okay. I went down.
You get to eat them though.
So,
Maybe don't stick gummies to Zack's map.
I'm sorry. Your map.
No, this is mine.
I'm just borrowing. Eventually, I want to get my own if DMing goes well.
Yeah.
Kit.
All right. I'm gonna move up one,
To
right there. Yeah, where I am now.
okay.
And I'm going to prepare to attack. No, you were back one.
Was I? Oh,
Yeah, you
yeah.
were. He moved up one.
Prepare to attack any that get close to me.
Okay. Igneas.
Cool. So I hit the orange one. I haven't done my damage yet. 2 plus
They're down.
6 is... Cool.
Not to steal your thunder, but they died at 2.
Okay, and then in that case, I'm gonna move up. Right there.
Okay.
Squat up.
So they're gonna come. They're gonna post up.
I hit the green one
Yeah.
for 11 damage.
Okay. Okay. Now to roll more dice. Keeping track of everything isn't fun, but getting to do 5 attacks in a turn is pretty fun for me.
Yeah, because you never get to attack as Goliath.
Yeah. This is a dream come true for me. Okay, so we're gonna start. Did you reckless?
Yeah.
We're gonna start with where'd my other D20 just go? I'll just pick another one out of the pile. The brown one is going for Igneas. They don't hit, but the yellow one is also going for Igneas. They do hit for 9 damage. So they max their damage, so that makes me feel a little better. Then the blue one is going to go for Trolli.
Wow. 16 AC? Don't make that noise.
I don't like this part anymore. Holly, you take... do bears take halved or anything? You take 18 damage.
Okay.
You out of bear form yet?
No, I'm not out of bear form yet.
Okay, well, you take 18 damage.
I need to do math in my head.
He crit and rolled absolute max, so good for him.
Don't forget, I don't know if you want to do it this way, but most DMs, when the enemies crit, you still roll both of the dice.
Nope.
Okay.
The bear is bloodied.
Okay.
Crits are more exciting if it's just a big super attack, no matter who it is, to me. But if that ends up like being a TPK,
It usually ends up leading to some, downings real fast. Because since you're rolling so many attacks, you're going to always
That's
get
fair.
more crits.
And then on Kit, you take 7 damage.
I'm near death.
Cool, cool.
I'm also near death.
Cool.
That's Trolli's turn.
Cool. My bite misses, but my claws hit with a 18.
Okay. On which
with
one?
On the blue one.
Okay.
With a total of 9 damage.
Okay. Kit.
I'm going to use Fighting Spirit. I get 5 more temp HP, and all my weapon attacks have advantage this turn.
Okay.
That is a 19 to hit for 14 damage on the
which
green one.
Okay. The green one's dead.
All right. Yeah. No.
You're dead too.
No. And then I'm going to action surge and hit the blue one as well.
Okay.
I miss.
Igneas.
Okay, so I reckless attack again. Trying to hit the brown one. 2 plus 6 is 8 plus 5 is 13 damage.
To the blue one?
To the brown one.
To the brown one.
I
Okay,
can't.
sorry.
Yeah, the brown one.
Okay.
Just attacking brown guys.
And here we thought Kit was the racist.
I'm a brown guy.
That is the enemy's turn. Did you reckless?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did that?
You're always going to reckless, right?
You.
It's probably better to announce when you don't reckless.
I did announce that I did.
The brown one misses. The yellow one does not. That's 8 damage for you, Igneas. And then the blue one is gonna go for Kit, because Kit just killed someone. And it misses. And it's grief for its lover that you just murdered.
Good.
Okay, Trolli.
Okay, attacking the blue one with my bite first. That's
Okay.
a 19 to hit with a total of 5 damage.
Oh, okay.
And I assume he's still up.
Yes.
So then he's also going to get a claw attack. For
Does it
18.
hit?
Yes, it does.
He dies.
Okay.
Consume.
And then I'd like to move right here.
Okay. Kit.
All right. I'm going to scoot into that little corner there.
This one?
Yep. And I'm going to swing down at that guy. That's a miss.
Okay. Igneas. I'm just going to start seeing if you roll 2 d20s. That's the easiest way for me to tell if you're reckless or not.
17.
That does hit.
Yeah,
Which one are you going for?
brown one.
Okay.
6
Dead.
plus 6 it... I like when I start saying my damage and then I don't have to. Somebody else can start having my M&Ms if they want them.
The brown
Which one?
one.
The
The
brown
brown
one.
one.
Oh.
Okay. These things are not smart enough to realize I am now outnumbered.
Don't be like this.
But Igneas just killed their friend, so they get one final crit hidden.
Oh no!
I'm down.
Igneas is down.
I had 2 HP, so I'm down.
There we
Okay.
go. It still looks like that.
Trolli.
Well, I'm going to attack the final M&M with both attacks. First one being, I can do math, a 22 with
Okay,
a
that hits.
total of 8 damage.
Okay,
And the second one also being a 22 with a total of 10 damage.
it's dead.
Okay. Does it mean we're out of combat?
You are out of combat.
Cool. So,
You may eat your M&M in
Yeah.
victory.
I would like to pop out of bear form
Mhm.
and then tend to our friend here.
I'm gonna start walking towards the castle.
with Cure Wounds.
Roll perception very quickly. If you're going to start walking immediately.
13.
Okay, this was a very low DC. As soon as you start walking towards the castle, you realize there's a lot of bodies to step over. You three are the only things still standing.
Fuck.
Um,
And I'm not standing.
she's tending to you.
Yeah, you
Uh,
get 7 HP.
Okay.
While you are, I'm assuming because you are clearly a caregiver, Holly, roll me a perception check.
I'm good at those. That is a soft 20.
Okay, so what you notice is that not only are you guys the only three standing, there's a lot of wristbands on the ground now.
Oh.
You can kind of piece together that the reason more kept showing up is because they were successfully killing the other people that signed up today. You are the only three that made it out of this.
I think that there's a bad thing happening right
Come on, let's go find this princess so we can save her. Or the queen.
now. I was gonna say princess. You seem to be in a sour mood. What's wrong with you?
We're in a war.
This doesn't feel like a war.
And I'm not in a sour mood. I'm actually happier than I've been in a while.
You don't seem very happy.
You are back up, by the way.
Right.
I'm
That's why I put
happy,
myself back up.
and I'm focused. You should be too.
I am pretty happy. Thank you for asking.
Focused. I meant focused.
I am pretty focused.
Then let's go.
I'm not
Alright.
very happy. A lot of people just died.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Let's make sure the queen's not one of them.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you have a point. Let's go. Let's just look around on the ground and just kind of cool.
Since you rolled a soft 20, I'll give a little more detail.
Ooh.
So as you guys are making your way towards the Blizzard Keep, it is a little bit of a walk, but it's very clear where it is because you know it's in the center of town.
And it's surrounded by a blizzard.
And it's surrounded by a giant blizzard, which I will describe here in a moment. A lot, pretty much, you can see people that, you were speaking to. And,
I don't like this no more.
a lot of them have, very clearly been, half-eaten. There are, a few of these other, candy trash goblins kind of lying around amongst the bodies. Clearly some of the other adventurers, went down with the fight. They managed to take a few out, but, for example, Kit, you see a lot of people that could definitely use that guy that helped you with your arm at this point. You also now realize, slightly meta-y, it wasn't just you being oh, I'm better than all these people. You guys, by chance, were definitively, the most experienced people
Right.
here. Which, unfortunately, and you also realize, clearly we kept up with, you guys kept up with 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And there is kind of the subtle worry of what does that mean for whatever this mission is, that there's only 3 of us left and nobody more experienced than us showed up to help. I would ask if there's anything you want to do on your way to the castle, but there isn't anything to do. very clearly anyone that is still alive has like locked themselves in their homes. Very clearly, as you're making your way through Non-Parvelis, like it wasn't just that like town square that got hit. Like the majority of the bodies are there, but there's like you walk down a side street and there's still some bodies up and down it. You can very clearly see that like some people died defending their family, like that kind of thing. But on some semblance of a bright side, there are some houses that like everything's locked down, but you can hear sobbing inside, like that kind of thing.
Oh yes, bright side.
Yeah. So you approach the center of town. And you know the castle is there because you can see the silhouette of a castle. But surrounding the castle is this thick cone of like a mix of like powdered sugar and like ice cream. It's like some chunks of like just a blizzard all around this castle.
I'm not stopping. I'm gonna walk straight through.
Well, hold on. And where you can kind of see that there's a drawbridge, there is a single post with a button and a speaker on it.
Press the button.
Yeah, just walk up.
Hello? Anybody there?
You press the button, and for a moment there is no response. And then you yes, hello.
Hi.
Well,
hi.
Hi, excuse me, give me a moment. And you hear, like, it shuts off again. With that, do you try to walk through?
If there's not like a moat separating it?
It's, okay, so imagine, like, where there would be a moat, there's just a blizzard constantly going. But, like, there's a bridge that goes into the blizzard.
I'm gonna try and walk through.
Okay. Do you two follow?
No.
No, where are you going?
To the castle?
Well, I don't think that's very
Let
safe.
them die.
No, don't be like that. I don't think that's very
They're
safe.
clearly too stupid to realize that you can't walk through that.
I think that you need to have
Maybe
a little
you
more
can.
patience, okay?
Ma'am, are you
Uh-huh.
still out there?
I sure am.
Do you stop for the voice?
Yeah.
Are there any of those monsters left?
I
No.
don't reckon so.
Okay. Were you by chance signed up? I mean, I would assume by the fact that you're alive and out and about, or were you? Did you like their voice is wavering? Like shit's hit the fan today.
We are adventurers here to help the queen.
Yes, we did sign up.
It turns off again, and after another minute, the blizzard starts to like part a little bit. Like you can hear really machinery kind of moving somewhere beneath the castle, and it opens up just wide enough that like the bridge you can go through.
And then, all right, well, let's go on. We can cross the
Go
bridge
in.
now.
I have not detached my sword, by the way.
That's fine. And so you cross this bridge, and like as you're going through the bridge, it's kind of like Moses in the Red Sea. Like if you look to your left, it is just solid fucking blizzard. Weirdly, it hasn't seemed to like stop the loop. There's just a gap in it.
Can I try to stick a finger and touch it?
Yes.
Okay, I do that.
You take 9 damage.
I'm down.
God damn it!
Leave him on
I
the
take
floor.
9 damage even in resistance to cold, or do I have it?
You have resistance to cold. I will let you take. You will have it to 5.
Okay.
Are you still down?
No.
God.
What did I tell you?
It's fine. We're all curious-natured.
I let you have resistance to cold almost because I never thought it would come in any use.
I told you it probably would.
This is like the one instance where it's going to be at all useful is you don't die when you make dumb choice. Anyway, you eventually get to the other side of this bridge. It is a little on the long side. And as you finally step to the other side, it's gone from a sunny day to kind of a cloudy day because the blizzard is like a dome over this castle, so you cannot see the sky above.
So this castle is basically just a giant snow globe.
Pretty much. The castle is absolutely gorgeous. The bricks that make it up kind of look like they are made out of they're like a nice khaki, like a cone for ice cream.
Yeah.
The roofing, like the tiles, is all like a beautiful, vibrant red, and then like connecting it to the cone is like whipped cream cement. It's incredibly tall. Kit, the closest you have ever seen to it is like the one time you got a glance at Chocula's manor, and even this looks much more like his looks like it's built for like function. This looks like it's built for form. And as soon as you are off the bridge, the thing starts closing behind you and shuts without a noise outside of the blizzard gets slightly louder because there's no more outside noise for the rest of them. As you get to the other side, like these doors are very seldom opened, but the castle doors open, and out from the door is that little marshmallow that you met earlier. Well, how be?
Hi there. How are you?
I've been better.
I see you made your way out of the massacre.
I see all three have too.
Yeah, we sure have.
Is the queen all right?
The queen is fine, thankfully. We made it back into the castle before all of that started.
Oh, that's
her
wonderful
as
to
well
hear.
as the prince.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
Did any of you require any kind of assistance? Are you hurt? Are y'all okay?
Oh, well, I absolutely think that they need some help.
This one needs
Big old
intelligence
hands.
treatments.
Well, how about we just start with some healing, and then we can maybe work on that later?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell y'all what. Y'all come into the foyer. Like, they've clearly been crying. Like, it's been a long day.
Buddy.
This is a little marshmallow person. y'all come into the foyer, and we'll bring out a potion for y'all, and when the queen's ready, she will call y'all in. Okay.
Kit's gonna like walk up, kind of put a hand on the marshmallow's like head, and go, "It hurts, but you will get used to it."
I'd rather not, sir, but thank you.
I'd
I'd
like
rather
to-
we be done with this whole thing.
I'd like to get on my knees and give him a hug and be like, "It'll be okay, Sugar Plum."
Okay. Blushes a little bit. This little marshmallow girl's got a crush on you at this point, right? And she leads you guys into the castle. So as you enter the castle, just because it's this beautiful place. It's Princess Peach's castle, essentially. Like, it's just this. The walls are covered in painting.
I was picturing Princess Peach's castle, but if it was made in Sugar Rush.
Kind of. Like, the walls are this beautiful fucking painting. There's a glass stain of the queen. A fucking staircase leading upstairs. All that beautiful stuff.
It's yours.
And as soon as you enter, this little marshmallow girl, and I say girl, she's like an adult, but she's a marshmallow.
Yeah, so she's tiny.
Yeah. Kind of goes into a side room, and as make yourselves comfortable. There's like a place to sit. A minute later, comes back with a potion of greater healing for you. As I blind you, I meant to do this one.
Yeah.
Potion of greater healing for you. And once again, it's like, do either of y'all need it? We have plenty.
I'm sure he needs something, although he probably won't admit it.
No, I definitely need one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be right back with that then. She goes aside, closes the door behind her. There's a little bit more of a ruckus back there. She comes out again with another potion of greater healing and hands it to you. Okay. I'm gonna go check with the queen, and I'll let y'all know when she's ready.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
Waddles up these stairs and closes the door.
Well, she was mighty nice, wasn't she?
Did you guys want to? You have a few minutes if you want to. Like, there's a lot of stuff on display. plenty of doors to look into if you
You
want
should
to.
probably heal yourself.
I was gonna ask how much like a
It's
grader does. Like,
4d4
4d4
plus
plus 4.
Can I borrow some
You
d4s?
sure can. There's 1. There's 2. And then
More
somewhere
cards
in here
here.
is a 4th one. Whoopee.
Thank you.
The black one might be the hardest one to read.
Okay.
I'm gonna get stuck in this accent.
That's alright, show you.
That's alright, sugar.
Okay, so 2 plus 3 is 5.
It's 8. 8 plus 4.
Plus 4. I can heal for 12. What the...
How much do you heal for, Zack?
15. I rolled quite well.
I'm at full health.
So once that's happened, I'm probably just going to like be looking around at things, like trying to get a closer look at everything.
Don't touch anything else.
Was there anything like? So pretty much on display around this, like it's almost like a foyer to a museum. There's like old maps on display, a few old scrolls, like a trophy here and there. Is there anything particular you want to look at
I'm
or
gonna look at the
for?
map first.
Look at the map? Okay. So the map actually is like super old. It looks like if you with your fucking rock hands touched it, you'd like rip it. It's like kept in a glass display thing.
Can I look at it closer to see if it looks different than maps that I want?
Yes. Roll me a history. Okay. It looks like different enough, because obviously, for you being from a Garden of Rock, there's like an assortment of maps, because you guys have lived for 500 years and you've just been mapping. Every couple of years you update your fucking map. So you can tell that this map is old and out of date and no longer accurate, but like, it doesn't look like it's particularly different from anything you've already seen before. However, you can tell it's definitely at least 450 years old because
it's from before
the rock garden is not disattached from the main continent.
Cool. That's what I was looking at specifically.
It like to go into a little bit further detail, because you can tell this because like very clearly this is a map from war times, given by the fact that the continent is not attached. There are no colonies on this map. It's just the Candy Kingdom as a map. Is there anything else anybody wanted to look at or see? Like, I wonder if this kind of thing is here. Because
Are there any wartime artifacts here?
Yes. Roll me a perception check.
6.
There's some sick fucking swords on display.
Pretty much all I would have cared about anyway.
Is there just the one door we came in through, or are there other doors?
There are other doors. There's like 3. Did you want to look at any of them?
Can I go in and like go up to them and like see if I can hear anything from the other side of the wall from each of them?
Sure. So there's gonna be one on your left and one on like kind of each side of the staircase. Which one are you looking at?
One on the left first.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
That is a 10.
Okay. You hear loud noises behind that one.
Cool, let's go to the next one.
Okay. Which left or right of the staircase?
We'll do right of the staircase.
Okay.
That is a 25.
Okay. Behind this door, you hear like once again loud noises, but you can make out it sounds like a kitchen.
Okay, and then the last door.
Okay.
That is 23.
Dead silence.
Okay. Then I'm done with my investigation.
Okay. Did you want to go in? Were you like knocking or anything at any of those doors,
No, I
or just
wanted
pure
to, like,
listening?
hear what was happening.
Okay. Anything else anybody wanted to look at before I have you go? I acknowledge I'm not being very specific about what's in this room because there's so much in this room.
Right.
It's like a mini museum.
I'm probably just in general, like slowly going around and looking at all the things, trying to look at them closely.
I don't suppose I'd be able to look for more wartime stuff.
Just general wartime stuff or artifacts again?
Probably artifacts.
I will allow one more perception check for artifacts specifically.
No.
Okay.
Never mind.
I'm going to then, just because I can't help myself, you can look for non-artifacts war stuff.
Okay.
If you would like.
That is a 17.
Okay.
Apparently I'm not allowed to look for artifacts.
Yeah, you can look at other shit, just not artifacts. There's definitely like a small, like a single bookshelf that has like a bunch of books on it. And like you quickly take a peek in one, and these are all diaries of people that like lived and presumably died in the war. And since you rolled high enough, Count Chocula the 50th diary is there.
I'm gonna read that one.
Okay. It's just kind of like... Roll me a history check really quick, just to see how much of this you already know.
Not 20.
Okay. So a lot of it that he writes down, the general information is all shit you already know. You know that, like, the Choculas were, like, 50% of what started the war. And so it just goes over this Chocula that the diary is for, very upset because he is the son of the Chocula that like started this.
Damn.
That Chocula died a year or two into the war, and then this one had to fucking take over. And it just kind of goes over how like originally in the Candy Kingdom, the Choculas just ruled all of it, and they weren't particularly dictators, but they had final say on everything,
basically.
and a lot of people didn't like that. So like people were fighting for their freedom, etc., etc., etc. And so for a lot of the war, it was just the two sides, what is now known as the Great Cocoa Empire versus the Confectionery Court. But then as things moved on, some people were like, hold on, I don't even, like, the war started to go really south. It started as like a civilized war and then went to a civil war. Like everybody's infighting, and that's why there are so many colonies now. By the end of this diary, the war is like not quite over, but the diary's like it's almost done, blah 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 blah. You can tell that like by this diary starts like it was written by a young man and ends like it was written by an old man, but you know the diary's only 10 years. Like this guy had to grow the fuck up really quickly because of this war. And it kind of just ends with like a I can only hope that the Cocoa Empire manages to reign as greatly as it did before. And it has one final signature and a picture of that Count Chocula, like a small
Portrait?
No, that kind of camera that like prints it out immediately.
Kodak?
Yeah, has one of those like tucked into the back cover. And the only other thing...
Polaroid, that's the real
Polaroid. It has a Polaroid. And as you close the book back up, on the front of it is the Chocula family insignia, which I will quickly show you what that... You would recognize it, but I'll quickly show you what it looks like.
Right.
I mean, everybody's allowed to see it. I guess it looks like that. And that is like embroidered on the cover in gold. Do you put it back or do you keep it? Nobody is here to stop you.
I'll kind of like run my finger along the embroidery, and then I'll hold on to it for a minute until somebody comes to get us, and then I will ask about it.
Okay. the final thing I will let you quickly see is that you can see on the left side of this bookshelf, very, very old, like it's in a frame and the frame is in a glass fucking thing, painting of what looks to be like, you can tell this is one of the old Count Chocula's. Most likely before even this diary was written, his father, like most likely even older than that. I'm not even gonna make you roll. It's a very old painting.
Right. Like Chocolate the 20th or something.
Yeah. With just a dairy person with him. A dairy woman. So with that, the doors at the top of these stairs swing open, and where you would have expected to see the little marshmallow person, the queen walks out. Act now above. Thankfully, somebody made it out. Please come in with me. We can sit and she doesn't even notice that you're holding that book. We can sit. We can talk. We can make some progress.
He'll kind of tuck it into his bag for now.
And she leads you up these stairs, through the doors. As soon as you're through these doors, the castle like really opens up. It's no longer just a foyer that's a museum. You would have no concept of where you were going if it wasn't for her leading you. But eventually you end up in a bedroom with this like big, beautiful bed with curtain. You know, like when they have like curtains on the side, it's one of those. It's got a fucking
bed is what you're talking
yes. It's got a super fancy couch, a dresser, blah 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 blah.
Tiny detail, but I want to
Yes.
be the one who was going up the stairs last in line.
Okay, that's fine. You
Did you want to be first? No. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll be first.
some of these doors you kind of have to like sidestep
Yeah.
under.
I'm a wide boy.
Yeah. So after a bit, you are in what is essentially this really fancy bedroom, and one side of the bed has the curtains parted. Excuse me. And the Dairy Queen sits on the edge of the bed, leaves the couch for the three of you. Everybody, roll me a quick perception check.
17.
18.
3.
Okay. So now that you're getting a close-up look of the Dairy Queen, I will describe her a little more. So this woman looks, first of all, fucking depressed. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. She's got little bags under her eyes that, like, you can only see because you're sitting in a room with her. You're sitting a few feet away. What did you guys roll?
17.
18.
Okay, you rolled high enough. Her hair's definitely a little disheveled. She's taken her crown off. I've already described the dress to you, but I'll describe her dress. She has her bosom is like two cherries, and then the stems of the cherries come down and like spiral down like a dress. Thank you. Spiral down like a dress. The stomach, where like the stomach is bare, with the cherry stems coming down to her waist, and the waist is where the spiral really starts, and it's like ice cream. But her crown is taken off. She's got bags under her eyes. And earlier, at a distance, you could see that like she's in good health. Blah 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 blah. She looks like shit. She still looks like young. However, compared to how old you know she is, it's almost uncanny how good she looks. Even now, when she fucking looks like shit. And she kind of rubs her like neck with her hands, like, and she like kind of waves at the couch for you guys to sit with her.
Milady, are you okay?
Oh, it's been a long couple of months.
Months? Would you?
Have these attacks been going on often?
I mean, nothing near this severe, but there have been reports, as I'm sure. Well, whew, let's get formalities out of the way. I, as you know, am the Dairy Queen. The three of you are more than welcome to call me Abigail. Abigail Pastry is my name from birth. And who might you be?
He'll kind of like partially bow using like his sword against his chest, and he'll say, "My name is Cliff, but you may call me Kit."
Do you have a preference?
Kit.
Kit.
Hello, my lady. My name is Trolli. It is an honor to meet you here in person.
The honor is mine. And you,
Igneas.
Igneas.
I'm kind of like glancing towards the couch, and I'm like thinking about whether or not I really should sit on it.
Igneas, it is more than sturdy enough, but I appreciate you being considerate. It's been a while since I've met a rock golem.
I'm going to sit on the couch.
I will remain standing.
Do you sit?
I will sit next to Igneas.
Anyway, to answer your question, Kit, as I'm sure the Cocoa Empire has, has been dealing with, there are reports of attacks now and then, but nothing nearly on this scale. I worry perhaps it may have somehow been my fault. I thought having a gathering would perhaps get all of you adventurers in one place, but also maybe let the common folk have some semblance of hope. And I worry it was a bad idea from the start.
I can't imagine that was the cause. You know how densely packed the Cocoa Empire is. Surely, if that was the cause, then we would have had attacks like that daily.
Don't blame yourself now.
You right?
I mean,
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were like...
no, I'm
Okay.
trying to keep the rice from falling out of my mouth.
Now don't go be blaming yourself now. Alright?
I try not to blame myself for a lot of things.
I understand.
Running-
It can be very hard.
Running the court is not particularly fun. for me.
Exhausting, I'm sure.
Yes.
Well, you should not blame yourself for the incident today. If anything, you were trying to do good and bring hope to people.
Okay.
No one could have expected this.
Where to begin? And as she's like kind of sitting there, this is clearly not how this was supposed to go. Like, this was supposed to be like a fucking, you know when you're on like a Disney ride and you go in 4 to 5 people? Those
No, I
like
don't
walk-through rides?
No, I've never been to Disney, thank
Okay.
you.
Well, when you're in a, I don't know other parks that have this, but like those walk-through rides where they're like 4 to 5 people go in and you walk in this room and you listen to a thing and then you walk to the... This whole thing was supposed to be that. That's why you guys are split up into groups.
Audio tours, basically.
Yeah. Very clearly you are not supposed to be sitting in the queen's bedroom, like, having a heart-to-heart.
Weird.
Everyone you have seen in this castle, which is so far only 2 people, very rattled. And as she's trying to maintain some level of composure, I think what we're to begin, there's a knock at the door, and without even waiting for her to come in, the door opens, and Prince Raz is there, and he's got a little tray with a goblet on it. And
I'll kind of give like a small
he kind
bow.
of walks over to his mother and like gets down on a knee and offers her the goblet. And she's like, "Oh, Raz, you're early." And he's like, "Well, mother, I heard that some of the adventurers had lived, and I was eager to meet them." And she's like, like she's half awake. She takes the goblet, like grimaces a little bit, sets it back down. The goblet's empty. "Thank you, Raz. If you could leave us." Raz kind of like, "Mother, like I'm the prince. I would like to be a part of solving this problem." "No, Raz. Like, you go back to your duties." Okay. Raz leaves and closes the door behind him. She takes a napkin and like, "Sorry about that." He's always trying to involve himself.
Why do you not allow him?
Well,
He should learn how to defend himself at least.
I'm sure she has her reasons.
I can agree with you, Kit. Sometime soon. Igneas, how much do you know about how the dairy family works?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. I was going to let you roll a history check, but we won't do that. So,
I'm for your soul.
I guess I'll start at the beginning of the queen, or the dairy family. I am a queen in name only. I am more so along the lines of an elected official. You see, when the Sour War broke out, everybody back then no longer wanted to reside under strictly a royal family. And so it was instead chosen to do, every 10 years, a family would be voted into the castle. And then 10 years later, another vote would happen whether or not they should stay, or somebody else who was campaigning would take their place. Until I am voted out, my family will be in charge. My family has not been voted out in about 50 years. I took over from my father before me, and I believe that the lesson I learned from my father that keeps us honest is that for the first 20 or so years of our lives, we don't get out much. So Raz, on his day-to-day, usually is not royalty. Because I am not royalty, and I feel as though it would be wrong to give him that kind of upbringing. So instead, he spends his day helping the servants around the castle in order to teach him some humility until he does take over, on the off chance he's never given that opportunity.
I don't understand the relevance.
Well, you asked why is he not allowed in on these kind of things.
Oh, I meant why is he not allowed to
Because
face combat?
to face combat is because I would hope that my son would never need to.
You may hope that, but the likelihood of it is...
I understand, but unfortunately, while I grew up a level-headed child, my son does not always enjoy the upbringing I've given him, as important as I think it is. And because of that, sometimes he can be a bit hot-headed, and I'm unsure about putting a sword in his hands.
I think that all he would need is the right teacher.
Well, perhaps we will get there.
Of course.
Ma'am, as I speak from experience, the correct teacher is exactly what he needs, because as I found out as a kid, you don't want them to run off and figure it out themselves.
Oh, I don't think he would ever run off. As much as I try to deter him from it, he does have trouble not thinking himself actual royalty and enjoying the conveniences he's allowed with that.
My people did not expect me to run off.
With nothing, she very clearly doesn't know quite how to respond to you. With no offense intended, Igneas, your people are very different from anyone else I've ever met.
What about my parents? They didn't expect me to run off.
I don't know your parents.
I think it's a very unfair statement to be making toward, in comparison of her life toward yours.
I'm only worried about the family here.
I understand. It's all a lot of. I mean, when Raz was a boy, we didn't have to deal with any of what's currently happening. Frankly, for the first couple of years of his life, I wanted my young man to be happy, and I did allow him to live almost as royalty, but I could see that she hesitates for a moment and glances at Kit and looks away. I could see that
He was going the paths of the Choculatin. I don't take offense to that.
And I just think it's important that he is raised to understand that at the end of the day, he is just a person like the rest of us. However, I do believe you are right. In these trying times, it does make sense that he should learn to at least defend himself. And I will look into making that happen. As much as I would love to ask one of you, I instead need to ask something else of the three of you. Regrettably, this was not supposed to be a 3-person mission. However, after today, I don't believe we are afforded the opportunity to wait any longer. As you may recall, my message to all of you was sent out about a month and a half ago, with today's date being the day. I understand it takes time for everyone to travel. You all come from, I presume, different colonies, and this is a big continent, especially in your case. You needed to come overseas. So it comes to you three. I, for the safety of some people involved, would rather not this information leave this room. So if you are uncomfortable taking on this level of responsibility, I ask that you leave now and no judgment will be made. Okay. The Dungeon Weaver has to pee. So
The Dungeon Peaver.
So I'm going to give you all a moment.
Well, I go. Please take no offense to me being an asshole
No,
to
it's
you.
fine.
My character just does not like golems.
I'm more than well versed in how roleplay is like that sometimes. It's totally fine.
And you're lucky because right now, since we're like in the face of royalty, he's being much more muted about it.
Yeah.
This is fun so far.
Yeah.
Hell of a first combat to throw out. Though I appreciate that he did it in waves. That was very smart.
Excuse me. That was the queen.
Yeah, after she took the sidge.
I'm assuming Holly's using the bathroom.
Trolli?
Trolli wouldn't know where the bathroom
Trolli.
is in this castle.
Chunky!
Good 2 hours so far.
It's only been 2 hours?
Yep.
God damn.
Is the laundry room light supposed to be on?
No, but it's whatever. So nobody leaves the room. Nobody. Does anybody make a motion to leave the room?
No.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm sure you are all very familiar with Heat at this point. I
No.
don't think there's any questions that need answering, I would hope.
There are a few.
Okay. She like goes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, we are going to be dealing with a lot. So, what is any questions you have?
I overheard earlier that it's unknown how it spreads. Is this true?
That is correct. I mean, not that we've been eager to test methods, and there are very clearly some ways in which it has spread. We can't pin down a specific one. Much like a common cold, if the husband who has it kisses his wife, sometimes the wife gets it. Other times the wife does not. We have no frame of reference of exactly what's going on.
Is there any information that you have on it that is not commonplace?
Somewhat And that is what I will be discussing with the three of you. Do you have any other questions, Igneas?
How much assistance will you be able to give us in terms of defense? Weaponry, shielding, armor.
Unfortunately, very little. Mainly given the events of today, which I will elaborate on in a moment.
Is it known where it originated?
No.
When did it start?
Slipped in darky for a
I
second.
did.
Well, it's hard to put a exact moment, especially because I only see over the confectionery court, so I can't pinpoint when it started in the Cocoa Empire or the plains or the garden
It doesn't exist.
or
in
the
garden.
coast. Fair enough. However,
Sorry, would I know when it started in the Cocoa Empire?
in a second, give me a history check. However, roughly 5-ish years ago is when we finally started to get some solid records of it happening. Roll me a history check.
No.
What was it?
3 plus 3, 6.
You vaguely are like, yeah, that's about the same
Right.
for the Cocoa Empire. You have no reason to roll. Would you like to roll?
Sure. Is it history?
Yes.
11
What did you roll on your dice?
on the die.
It was about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Like, no place has any record of prior to 5 years ago.
Okay.
So, roughly 5 years.
It's older than me.
It's older than you. Anything else? I want to make sure you are as well informed as possible before you are given your proper opportunity to leave, because you will be dealing with the heat quite a bit. And it's unfair of me. There's some information I can't give you unless you agree to this, but it's unfair to me to ask you to agree unless you are given as much information as I can give you.
Are certain life forms more susceptible to it?
Not that we're aware of.
No further questions.
Are there any life forms that seem to be immune to it?
Or perhaps resistant.
Well, I can't conclusively say. However, believe it or not, I think myself a woman of science. And as harsh as this might sound, there are not many rock golems in the court. So I don't know how resistant or non-resistant a rock golem may be.
But you did say that almost every other.
Every other thing, yes, resistant
I'm
to, or
sorry.
non-resistant to it. I can only not say anything for the golems because there are not many golems, so I don't know.
It's
But-
quite rare that we leave the garden.
Correct.
About what percentage of your kingdom do you think is infected?
It's hard to put a number on it, but there are varying levels of heat. Sometimes somebody only gets a little sick. Sometimes some people die. Sometimes they're in between. Sometimes they progress. Sometimes they don't. I would say, at least of the court, 75% have some level of heat. Splitting it up into the different levels of heat,
Dear.
I can't put any numbers on.
Oh goodness.
Only because it fluctuates so frequently.
Then the situation is truly dire.
Truly. We've tried running tests on it, and there's no consistency is the problem here.
And you're sure it's just one disease?
It just mutates quite frequently.
Mm.
Anything else?
Well, what were you hoping to get from us?
Okay. This is your final opportunity to leave. As I briefly mentioned, she gets a little more serious. Like, this part was kind of a little scripted. She knows what she's supposed to be saying now. As I said before, I do view myself a woman of science. As such, we do have a team of royal scientists. As much as I hate the term royal, it is the easiest way to describe what I am and what I do. While we can't pin down how this disease works, as I said, it mutates a lot, we do believe we may have found a cure. In finding said cure, we have reason to believe this disease may be manufactured and not something that has naturally happened. Therefore, I cannot offer you much help because it's been roughly an hour since everything in the town square, let's say. In the past hour, there has been the thought that perhaps if this disease truly is manufactured, as soon as I set up a big community meeting to stop it, whoever manufactured it sabotaged said meeting. Therefore, you three are, for the time being, our final hope for a cure. I cannot risk helping you in any meaningful way unless I make you a target for whoever might be manufacturing this.
What are your leads?
Our leads on a cure or our leads on who are manufacturing this?
Either.
Our leads on a cure. One of our scientists believes he has narrowed down a recipe for an antivirus. I would just need the three of you, unfortunately only the three of you, to go collect said ingredients. Our leads for who's manufactured it? 0. We can only tell by studying the biology of this virus that a lot of these elements, while they mutate now, would not have naturally mutated to where it originates.
Has all of the progress on this cure been made by this one scientist?
As far as I'm aware, yes, unless any of the other colonies have discovered the same thing in private. Unfortunately, if they have discovered that there may be a cure, they have undoubtedly discovered that this is almost assuredly manufactured, meaning the safest bet is to keep it under wraps.
How do we know that this scientist isn't the one that manufactured it?
I have known this scientist since the day I was born. She kind of glances towards the door, confirms that it's closed. Even so, I'm not going to deny the possibility. But I like to believe in the good of people around me, and I would also hope that in his great efforts to make a cure, that's reason enough to not suspect him. He has been working at this since we found the virus.
Has the cure been trialed at all?
No. We have not had the ability to gather all the necessary pieces. Unfortunately, the pieces necessary, some of it can be found in the court in the right seasons if we get lucky. But some of these pieces only naturally occur in other colonies. And because of how covert this whole mission needs to be, it's a little tough to go publicly ask for their supplies. You can also understand that even outside of what she's saying, the colonies are like friendly with each other, the same way we as America are friendly with other areas of the world.
Right.
But we're not like, anything you need, you know. So like, it would have to be this process of like open communication for trade, and the logic is just like, this is bad enough that if anything we do risks this being sabotaged, we can't do it.
Right.
I did try to reach out to Dominic, to Count Chocula, a few times. I have not gotten a response. And as you are aware, Kit, the rest of the party, like, doesn't really understand. That's just kind of rings that little bell in your mind of like she's been trying to talk to Chocula. He has not been responding. Chocula has not been publicly seen or even heard from in a couple of years outside of like his two right hand man and right hand woman, who I believe are Margaret and Maurice is what I've written out already.
I believe so.
They're just passing along what he's saying.
No response back at all. Not even from his right hands.
I've gotten letters from them saying this is what he's saying in response, but he hasn't given any kind of green light for any of this. Now, not to imply you guys would be in... I would, at bare minimum, support you enough that, of course, you are, not that it means much, freely welcome to roam the colonies. Because the colonies are not at a point that, like, there's no fucking border control or anything like that.
Right.
But, like, you would get, like, a little card of, like, hey, I'm working with the queen, you know, like that kind of thing. I could at least offer you that. I could offer you a few potions on your way out, but I can't offer you weaponry or backup or anything along those lines. Anything that you can't just carry in your pocket.
Speaking of, and he'll reach into his bag and pull out the diary. I was wondering if I might be able to take this with me. It belongs to one of the more ancient Choculas.
After everything you've done today, you are more than welcome to.
Thank you. I will return it once we are back.
Okay. So, okay. Let me see if I have something saved. I don't think I did. So he looks between the three of you. If I can count on you, I'm sorry I can't offer much more, but I do swear that if you pull this off, I will still honor giving you whatever reward you desire that is within my power. I know you previously asked about leads. I currently only have 2 on where to begin for you guys. Excuse me. I thought I had something saved, but I don't, so I'm going to quickly find it. So, assuming the 3 of you are still with me here, the 2 leads I currently have for you. The first one is, excuse me, we would need a specific kind of raw sugar. It only grows in this kind of. It requires a lot of fine grinding. I'm just going to give everybody, including the listeners, a heads up. A lot of these types of materials I'm about to describe do not actually exist. I'm making them up. Fuck off. It's fine. This sugar, it is ruby sugar, and it can only be found by grinding up a very specific kind. Pardon me, Igneas. Stone. Found in deep canyons that are typically found in the Great Donut Plain, or the Donut Plains. Whereas our I wish I had saved the thing I wrote down earlier. Hold on, I think this is it. Okay. So the sugar that needs to be obtained from grinding these ruby stones that are only found in the donut plants.
Is it called ruby stones or ruby sugar?
The stone is ruby sugar. You get it by grinding ruby stones. The only other lead I have is it's a kind of whipping cream that you can only find in a very rare kind of coconut, and that, to our knowledge, can only be found on the gelatin coastlands. It's entirely up to the two of you, or the three of you rather, which two of those things you start with. In the meantime, while you are away, my scientists and I will do our best to figure out where the remaining ingredients can be found. At bare minimum, I can offer you camping supplies to get you there.
That would be appreciated.
Okay. I suppose, well, as much as I hate to see you all go, because I won't deny I'm worried for the three of you, I will go gather some supplies for you while you decide where you want to go, and she will usher herself out of the room.
We should probably go to the donut plains first. They're closer.
Right.
Very quickly, Holly, roll me a history check.
That's all weird. 13.
You can't pinpoint where or when, but like thinking back on it, you swear at least once or twice you've seen those coconuts she's talking about. Like while you were out fucking exploring as a kid with your family, like,
Yeah.
oh, those coconuts are different looking, like, and you can only presume that that's them, but you wouldn't be able to remember where.
Do I know, like,
Stone isn't something I would have heard of.
No, because it only exists in the donut plains.
Fair enough.
would I know that, like, the general area, but like maybe not the specific location, but like the
You'd
general
remember
area?
that they're in a forest.
Okay.
And there's a lot of forest on the plains.
Dopey.
Well.
In case that affects your decision, you have some semblance of like, these are foresty areas on the plains. I know at bare minimum I've seen them in a forest before.
You mean nice?
That's fine.
Do you mean the coastlands?
So yeah, the coastlands. The donut plains, none of you have ever been to. But you know that you might have walked, or one of you might have walked through it to get here.
I was about to say, I believe she would have walked through it to get here. Briefly.
No, she could have just come straight here.
Oh, okay.
Because you can see, like, there is that little bit down there.
Right.
So you could have just come straight to the confectionery.
I guess it depends on where
It depends on where
Non-Perilous is.
The Non-Perilous is, like, right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So unless you specifically walked, like you made a slight detour to walk through the plains, which realistically you probably wouldn't have because it's very much Wild West, you could have been mugged on the way here. But if you're into that, then okay.
Take a step over the border and somebody's like, give me
It's
all
like
your
that one
money.
thing
Like,
from SpongeBob where like the movie where they cross the border in the Krabby Patty
will last 10
mobile
seconds
and
or we
immediately
can't
get
run.
mugged to like get out of the car.
Well, I sure do like to make friends, so why not?
If you want to have briefly gone through the donut plains, you wouldn't have any semblance of where the thing is.
No.
Okay.
I just want to be able to say that I walked through it.
Okay. The two of you definitely have not been to either of those places.
No.
I feel like when you get mugged there, they like beat you up and go, hurts, don't it?
I want Hertz donuts.
I want to point out that I would 100% name that after the area in Super Mario World.
I realized it right away.
So yeah, this is the part where I leave it up to you guys to roleplay out where you want to go.
I just want to acquire provisions, and then
She's gonna come back like with some camping supplies and potions and such for you.
yeah.
I vaguely remember seeing those coconut things that she mentioned back in my little farm. I'm in my town.
I'm gonna raise my hand.
Yes, huh?
Why are they called coconuts? They do not have cocoa.
That is a great question. Can I put a pin in that and come back to it? Perfect. So, we can start there, or we can go to the Donut Lands.
The Donut Lands would still be closer. We could go there, stop there first, figure out where they are, and then head to your homeland.
Alright, I don't know exactly where. I know that they're there somewhere.
But I'm assuming you would probably have family or friends there that would be able to direct us.
If they're still there, yeah, we can ask.
You have a better idea than we do.
Either way, there's no sense in making the full trip and then turning around for the second one.
I guess you make a point.
Holly, I just realized quickly, roll me a history check.
I assume there's like phones and shit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
It's 11.
Just barely. Just really quick, because in your backstory, like stuff's kind of going wrong. Now that you've experienced the heat firsthand, it's 100% the heat. affecting your
Cool.
town.
Love it. Here for it.
Like, oh, those are all symptoms of some people back home. Like,
Even the ones that go missing?
the ones that go missing just fucking go missing.
Okay.
But like, there are like outside of people going missing, there are some people that are like sick.
Right.
Like, yeah, your town ain't doing so good.
It's okay.
If we make the straight line to the Donut Plains, get the item we need there, and then head to the Gelatin Coastland, we can probably contact the Queen from there and then try to figure out where to go next if she's found out. If not, then we can head back to the kingdom and figure it out from there.
Very quickly, to quickly add on though, you are now aware that people are being eaten. So
No, I know. It's all
okay,
clicking
just
for her.
wanted to make sure that clicked
It's all
for you.
clicking. She's just trying to be positive.
Okay.
She's not doing great, but she's doing her best.
I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation. I'm sorry.
Does anyone want the rest of my panda?
Is that orange chicken?
It is orange chicken.
I will take
That kind of person doesn't exist here. That's not candy.
I don't know, it's kind of
So
sweet.
it's just a chicken, but it's made out of an orange.
Man, I'm hungry.
I am a sweet.
That's one of like the farm animals, like it's an orange
An
chicken.
orange chicken.
I can't afford that.
Danielle, you want to take us to Old Cell?
Depends on how hungry I am later.
Here's Zack.
I got nothing.
He's got literally like 40 cents.
Actually, hold on. I'll check how much I have in a minute. But
Yeah, I can't.
I think I can afford it. Maybe. Anyway, so after a couple minutes,
Yeah.
Abigail comes back in the room.
I would not be calling her Abigail.
Every time I think of the name Abigail, I just think of Abigail Lincoln from Codename Kids Next Door.
She's got 3 bags. And she, like, again, I apologize, I can't offer you much more than this, but it's as much as I can do. And in each bag,
When she comes in with the bags, by the way, Kit's gonna like rush up and like take 2 of them and hand one of them to Trolli.
okay, she'll hand the 3rd to you then. Each bag contains a sleeping bag, except the one that Trolli ended up with, which also contains a big tent, and it's just the one tent. But you each get a sleeping bag, as well as each of you gets 2 potions.
Normal potions?
2 normal potions. So 3 sleeping bags, 1 tent, 2 normal potions. What else did we give you? And you each get like a necklace that has like a small cupcake on it, and you know that is the Dairy Queen insignia. So like you have some level of I'm with the Queen.
I just labeled a Dairy Queen hall pass.
Kit will try to like fasten his to like the fold of his waistcoat.
Yeah, that works just fine.
I'm like trying to hold this.
Your chain is bigger than the others.
Like put it on as best as I can.
Have you decided where you're going?
I believe we have chosen the donut plains.
Okay. Please be careful. The donut plains is risky. I wish it was. Yes.
The donut plains are risky.
Yes. Anyway,
Do we have any way of contacting you once we have the materials?
of course. She kind of pats her pockets a little bit, and takes out an Oreo, and hands the Oreo to Trolli. You can just open this on up and speak into it, and you'll have a direct line to me.
Walkie-talkie, then.
But I apologize if it does not always work. It is because cell phones exist. This is not a cell phone,
Right.
so it's like this is relatively new and experimental, and it's not common that I give people a direct line of contact with the Queen. It's untested.
Rest assured, we will not be abusing it.
Okay, please don't put my number on any bathroom stalls.
I sure won't.
Okay.
I did have a question, if I may.
Of course.
It is. You might find it be quite a silly question, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm slipping into darky.
It's hard. They're like somewhat similar, the accents.
That drink that your son brought in.
Yes.
What is that?
Medicine, I would assume. By the grimace.
Medicine.
Sweetheart,
That's
I know
probably
what
all we
medicine
need to
looked
know.
like. That did not look like medicine.
Okay. Well, not to toot my own horn, but you might have noticed I'm looking a little young for my age.
You look fantastic.
I did not notice. Continue.
Thank you, Igneas. Well, that medicine, it's a few different components put together. Whipping cream, a trace amount of vanilla extract, a few chocolate chips to at least help with the flavor, that kind of thing. What that does, when coupled with the blizzard outside, makes me age a lot slower. The blizzard outside is as much for the castle's defense as it is to keep me cooled off, and that is what keeps me aging slower.
Very interesting.
Cooled off.
The medicine only has quite as much of an effect in the cold.
Well, thank you for.
It's like when you refrigerate a dairy product.
I appreciate your honesty, man.
Kit tried to help her. It's medicine. Well, what does it do? I don't think we need to know.
I grew up on a farm. That didn't look like medicine to me. I've seen terrible medicine.
Please only contact me if it's absolutely necessary.
Of course.
I cannot guarantee where I will be, and again, this is try to tell as few people as possible exactly what you're doing. We don't know who we can trust.
Shall we update you when we've found what we need to find?
That is perfectly fine, and I will update you if I get any other leads.
Please do. Because the more information we have about the other locations, the better.
The better we can plan our course.
Does it make a sound whenever you're contacting us?
It vibrates.
Good.
With that, it's been a pleasure meeting all of you.
And you as well.
The pleasure is ours.
And then she opens the door for the three of you. Do you still walk last?
Yes.
Okay. So as you two leave the room, she kind of steps between you and the door. Igneas, do you think I can speak with you for a second?
Yes.
Okay. He'll be right down with the two of you.
Of course. We'll be downstairs.
And she closes the door. So, Igneas, how has the garden been afflicted by the heat in any meaningful way that you're aware of?
It has not reached us.
Oh.
I assume only because of the ocean in the way. Travel is very sparse there.
Right. To be safe, did anyone get off the boat but you?
No.
Okay, that's somewhat of a relief. Igneas, may I ask why you are, I don't mean to be rude or judgmental of your people, the only golem that showed up to help?
I'm a little bit of an outcast.
Why would that be?
I don't think of things the same way that my elders do.
How do they think of things that made them not? I try to, again, assume the good in people. I hope maybe a few more of you would be eager to help.
Well, to begin with, there are not many of us. But as well, a common belief among our people is that the earth knows what's best for itself, and that this plague may be fate, it may be destined, it may be what is supposed to happen. I do not believe it is. And now that we have information that leads to the idea that someone has made it and it is not a natural occurrence, my belief in that is even stronger.
Okay. Well, do you think they'd be willing to help?
With this news, it's much more likely.
Okay.
Because this now disrupts the natural order of things.
Right. Right. Yes, she looks a little more hopeful. Well, again, forgive me, I don't know much about your people. I've only spoken to those that have moved into my court.
Most know very little.
Is there any kind of leader that I can perhaps contact in any real way? There's one or two things on our list that, again, we don't have leads for, and perhaps anyone who's very knowledgeable about the garden would know if there's any there. If I can somehow send them a letter or...
Yes. The closest figure that we have to a leader would be the oldest of the elders.
Okay.
You would probably do best speaking with them. They're very knowledgeable and very wise, even beyond the garden.
Do they have a name?
You're doing the DM thing to me now?
You can decide their name.
Okay, give me a second. Can I do it after this conversation and then
Gerald.
send it to you? No.
It's
Sediment.
I want to give them a cool name.
It's Gerald. They're an old soul.
How about Sed?
Said. Fine. It's said. Okay, Seth. I will send somebody with a letter for Seth. Thank you. That helps quite a bit.
You are welcome.
And she opens the door for you.
They use any pronouns. It does not matter what you call them.
Good to know. Thank you.
I'll leave.
So the three of you come back the way you came. End up in the foyer again. quick meta. This is your like last chance to look around this room for a little while. If there's anything else you want to look for, there's nothing in particular I want you to find.
No, I was just looking at you like artifacts. Like,
Do you want to look for artifacts again?
I rolled a 2 and a 3. Yes, I want to try one more time.
Okay.
Swear to God, if I roll a 4,
A 4.
motherfucker!
Did you actually roll?
Rolled a 3 again. Artifacts don't exist.
Dude, these swords are so fucking cool. There's one sword in this room that you're like, fuck, I should have asked if she let me take the sword. Like, but you know in your heart she would have said no. But like, you're really like, what if I asked in just the right way? Would she have said yes?
Damn it. It's gonna end up being a meme.
Not particularly.
Again, there's nothing in here that I'm like, I really hope they find this. I'm just acknowledging, like,
If I see works of art, that would probably interest me.
there's already bare minimum the one painting that he saw, so there's paintings around.
Right. I would probably, like, if we have time to burn, I would be looking at those, but otherwise...
You can take like a roll perception so I can know how much you'd see with a quick glance, because that's about all you've got.
9.
They are paintings.
They are paintings.
At a quick glance, like, oh, statistically speaking, these are the families that have been voted in before. Probably. And then you leave.
I fully expected her to fail that roll, and you'd be like, you find some wartime artifacts.
Yeah, you find this fucking... So, like, World War II, like, I go super in depth. Whip out, like, fucking,
Well, you
like,
don't find any
figures.
paintings, but what you do find...
Pull out a diorama, like...
Yes, Trolli.
Are there any like books of like magic for the royal household, or
I mean,
scrolls or something?
just, like, general stuff. Like, nothing that even seems specific to the household. Just, like, magic for dummies, you know, like, that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Okay. Are there any magical artifacts?
Normally I'd say no, but in the spirit of fucking with Zack, I want you to roll for it.
Perception?
Yes.
Oh, I'm good at those. Maybe not today. A 14.
Okay. One of those swords that Kit has been looking at a lot, 100% belonged to the Choculatin during the war.
Well, it has no interest to her, so she's not gonna make it.
That's what I was waiting to give you.
I'm so pissed
I'm
off.
sorry, she just not gonna fuck.
The hilt of it, you know that symbol I drew that's an O with 2 lines? That, like, kind of square where the 2 lines cut off, that's where the sword comes out.
Okay.
That's how you can...
Damn it.
Yeah. And it's got... I'm not going to fucking remember these numbers outside of the current Chocolatin and the lore thing. Count Chocula the 50th is, like, engraved underneath.
So the one I have the fucking diary of. God damn it.
So wait, it would have been the 49th.
Or the 49th. The one that started the war. So
Right.
the 50th, the 49th.
Damn.
Yeah.
Too bad she doesn't give a shit. She's not gonna tell you.
So with that, you guys step outside. The thing opens up again for the bridge. It's still daytime. It's not like daytime. The sun is starting to go down to the point where the sun shines directly across this bridge. And in the beam of this sunlight of these 3 people going to hopefully, if the world is lucky, find a cure and set out for their first destination, that is where we will end our session.